Victor Oladipo returned last night, and the Miami Heat won 123-106. Oladipo, has basically missed the last two seasons of his career. I mean, I think he had two surgeries on his quads. I believe he played 4 games for your Miami Heat, and then before that, I think he played 26 games, I want to say, with the Houston Rockets. So obviously we knew what Oladipo was, and when he started to hit his prime, 2-time All-Star. Most people are going to remember him from taking LeBron 7 games in the first round when he was on the Indiana Pacers when he got traded from the OKC Thunder. And, when he came into the league, a lot of people thought, when they made comparisons, he was probably going to be like a DUA type of player, which I see. But obviously it was an up and down battle. He was really trying to, find himself, find what type of player he was. And I feel like from learning from Russell Westbrook and going to his own team and basically being that franchise player for that small amount of time, and then obviously, like I said, dueling with LeBron James, I feel like that really gave him the confidence to just kind of move forward. So it looked promising. Like I said, he's just been injury plagued. And, after an X amount of time, you probably know better than me about how much time he missed. And when I turn things over to you, he came back off the bench today. It was a home game, I believe, against the Houston Rockets. And like I said, the Heat won 123-106. Oladipo had a minute restriction. They say he was going to play 15 minutes. I ain't going to lie. When he came into the game towards the end of the first and played a little bit of second, I was like, yo, is Bo paying attention to the minutes right now? Like, it looks like he might play 18 to 25 minutes, but played 15 minutes, had 11 points, was 4-7 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 4 assists, and it was +3 in the plus or minus stat sheet as well too. So when he came in, obviously he looked a little nervous, but more so not nervous because he didn't believe in his body, just nervous because this was the first time he's played in such a long time. Because I mean, the last time he played, I feel like there was no fans, and you fast forward time, he's fully healthy. There's a sold out arena basically, and he hasn't really played other than scrimmaging with his team. He hasn't played another team, so he looked a little nervous. But from what I saw, once he took that charge, and you and I text each other about this. Once he took that charge, I was like, this is a guy who believes in his body 100%. Like all this time, energy, and effort, the sacrifice, all of that freaking paid off. I was happy to see that as well too. He looked very quick. I loved his lateral movements on the defensive end. Whenever they went man, whenever they switched, whenever they went zone, he knew what he was doing. It looked like he was more so not trying to step over anyone's toes and was that facilitator to start off, and then eventually he found his groove. So when he hit his first 3, I went crazy. You went crazy. Heat Nation went crazy. But more importantly, aside from drawing that charge and getting those first points under him, the second half in the third quarter, he's at the top of the left key, near the elbow 3-point line. He calls for a pick. Bam sets the screen for him. He slashes and dunks the motherfucking ball. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's back. He's definitely back. And I was just so excited for him, man. Anyone who has to face adversity and just doesn't allow themselves to quit and never give up, you can only, cheer for them as well too. But being the Heat fan that you are, man, I mean, what were your impressions on Oladipo? What do you see with him moving forward? And, what's the ceiling not only for him, but for your Miami Heat with these X amount of games left and getting ready for the playoffs?
I mean, first of all, this whole story for him is inspiring. To see a guy, get the opportunity he wanted, get to his home, and then have this adversity he has to go through, and then finally you get to see the expression on his face when he makes his first shot, when he takes his first charge, when he gets the bounce and gets the jitters out of the way, and then having him in the winner's circle, just 11 points, but still in the winner's circle after the game to get that interview, just to tell how humble he's been, how the journey's been. It's great to see him playing. It's great to see this story fold out. No matter what really happens in the season, it's just like, we're always going to know, like, you put the time in and your efforts are going to be worth it at the end of the day. But to get into the game, I mean, the second he got in, the first play you make is a charge. As a Heat player, that's like initiation. You know what I'm saying? Every player has to get a charge at some point during the season. Number 1 team in charges this season it's amazing to see that he's able to put his body on the line. I'm pretty sure he ended the game with 2 charges. One might have got called back. I'm not sure about that, but he had, I think, like 2 or 3 threes, corner threes, but still, we don't really need him to do too much. Honestly, he came in as Gabe Vincent's replacement off the bench. I'm not sure if he's at point guard or at shooting guard at that spot, because when Tyler came in with him, Tyler came in as a shooting guard because Kyle was still in. So I'm not sure what the rotation really looks like. I mean, this is only game 1, but he looks great. Definitely looked explosive. I can really tell that he was not nervous necessarily, like his body's gonna fail him, but it's more like everybody's believing in me and I don't want to let you down. So I gotta, like, that nervousness that of if you did let people down, you would feel guilty. But that nervousness of, like, I know everything on the test. I know I can get this done, but, like, I don't know. I just got that jitters and I have to get them out the way. I think this game, the next game probably gets those jitters out of the way. And then we just get back to regular Oladipo. It's insane to just have a guy like that off the bench, off the bench with Tyler Hero, who, by the way, since the All-Star break has ended, he's been playing like an all-star. Like, I think he's on a streak of like 6 games of 25 plus right now. Like, he's going crazy. When he comes in, it's literally like Victor is just another guy that can slash and get to the bucket as well as Tyler. And that's something we needed. A guy that can get downhill, a guy that can pick up on the defensive side, not just like, shooting threes like Gabe Vincent, or even though Gabe's been getting better at playmaking, Victor has been the guy for like Orlando team, the Pacers. He's been the guy that can facilitate and get guys open. So now we can bring that to the table the same way Tyler Hero has as well. It's going to be great to see the rest of the season folding out, because this defensive lineup of Victor, Kyle, PJ, Bam, and Jimmy, I don't know who's beating that. I mean, of course, you got the Bucks that have size. You have the Cavs that have size. I mean, we're going to get to it later with Jared Allen, but if you're going to go small against us, that ain't going to work.
And the ceiling for you guys, conference finals appearance, what are you thinking?
Ceiling, I would probably have to say finals or conference finals, honestly, because the team is too talented. Our chemistry is too high. Our roster has been filled out completely. Morris is set to come back within the next week or 2. So, I mean, he's a backup 4, literally. PJ Tucker off the bench. I mean, PJ Tucker goes to the bench. Morris comes in. Kyle goes to the bench. Victor or Tyler comes in. Duncan goes to the bench. Victor or Tyler comes in. Jimmy goes to the bench. Caleb Martin, Bam, Dedman. And then you got our roster's too filled out for us to like just go to the playoffs, round 1, round 2, and then out. You know what I'm saying? Especially being first in the East, you can't just hit that mark and then, flop when it comes down to what really matters, which is the playoffs.
Yeah. And what's crazy, going back to Oladipo before we move on to our next topic, it's just crazy how times have changed with modern technology, medicine, surgery, just sports science in general. And back in the day, you pretty much had a lot of pressure for your organization from your teammates to come back, even if you weren't fully 100%. They had the motto, if it ain't really hurt like that, then go play. Nowadays, we're going to wait, not only until I'm cleared by the doctors, but I'm going to take even more time to get my psyche right, and just be ready to go as well. We've seen it with Oladipo. Just now we saw it with KD. We've seen it with Kawhi Leonard. We've seen it with a lot of these players as well too. So more of the story is don't rush to come back. When you truly feel ready, then come back. And like I said, with what we've seen from Oladipo, even though it's been 15 minutes, to come back and be a +3 and, like we said, be that slasher, be that facilitator, take those charges and just not be scared, it's only going to go up from here as well too, honestly. Yeah. I was kind of more impressed with his game, his return, as opposed to Klay Thompson, just because of how great he looked defensively. It felt like he didn't lose a step at all on both ends, which is crazy.